He wanted to have a sort of a young character in it who represented maybe a more tolerant section of the Catholic Church, and that's what my little part of it is. Yeah.
How does it work? Did you have a really perfect written script?
No. The way that Ken works is that you don't know. I didn't know what the story of the film was at all, and he doesn't tell you anything. And day by day, he hands you secretly a piece of script. You read, what the hell? So you don't know what's going to happen. So I didn't know. You don't do any rehearsal. You turn up on the day, and then he'll say, you don't know. So I didn't. Barry Ward, who plays Jimmy, I didn't meet at all in the whole. Even though we filmed it in Sligo, which is a tiny little village. So he likes to keep it very secretive, and he doesn't like anybody to know what's happening in the film, which I think is great. You know, you feel very excited, because then it means you're not caught doing any acting. It means that you're just reacting really, and so that there's a scene in it, I think, where my character loses his temper, and so he writes down the lines, very very basic lines, but you don't have to really learn them. You just have to sort of get a sense of them. So a lot of that stuff was just stuff that you improvise on the day. So it's a very exciting way of working, and one of the chief reasons I was delighted to be there. Yes.
And you do a lot of theatre work also,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
is this very difficult for you to work like this?
No, I found it amazing. I love doing a bit of improvisation. I like doing all things that are a little bit weird. So yeah. No, it was great. Anything that's a bit different. I just did a film. I don't know if it's come out here, called Lock, with Tom Hardy, which is all just voice stuff, which is all improvised as well. And so I like a bit of that as well.
How are you dividing your career, your life now? Because is it more theatre, or are you now starting to orient more to the film?
Oh no, I've just done a play in London. So I won't be doing a play now for another little while. It's just because it's very tiring. So I've been doing a bit of everything, a bit of TV and a bit of film, and we've got this film Pride that I've just come from New York, where we were opening this movie called Pride, and it's coming here, I believe, in January.
Yeah, it's coming in January. So
yeah, it's a really beautiful new film called Pride, and yeah, I've been doing that, and I've got this new version of Frankenstein, the new Frankenstein story,
and your role is.
Well, they're excited. I play a character called Turpin, who's kind of the religious guy, ironically, versus the science guy, James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe are in it, and they're here. That's them. I'm joking.
Okay, can we get some questions from the audience also?
You've done quite a range of characters, films and television theatre, but are there any certain archetypes or genres you'd like to be involved in?
No, I always like to be in things. No, I like to do lots of very different things that I haven't done yet. I'd quite like to be in a romantic comedy. I think because I've done a lot of dark characters over the past couple of years. I'd like to do something a little lighter, something where I'm not psychopathic. How are you? Oh yeah. To this. Yeah, it does. It's absolutely about. We're just talking about a Brian Friel play called Dancing at Lumasa, which is it's a similar time, and yeah, about families and communities and all that kind of stuff. But no, the theatre is something that's incredibly important to me. It's something that I'd never give up. I always think the theatre is the actor's medium, because they can't, if you're doing a terrible job, they can't edit you, and you know, if you've got an audience, they're either bored. Yes, exactly. You're either bored and they're either falling asleep, or else you're making them laugh, and it's all up to you. It's totally your story from beginning to end. Whereas in the movies, it's the director's game, because they can, you know, they can add music or they add lighting, or they can totally make or break a movie in the edit. So I always say to young actors, you know, to try and do a little bit of theatre, because it's such a laugh, and you've got a real sense of community in doing the theatre, because the person that has one line and the person who has 300 lines are there every night, and everybody gets to know each other. Whereas on a movie set, the person who has one line comes in for half a day, and you don't really get to know each other. So it means you have a bit more fun. So yeah, keep it up.
Have you enjoyed your stay in Finland, in Helsinki, and have you been able to, you know, go outside and walk without people noticing, if you have had any?
Outside the cinema was one. I've just been for a little walk around the city. We just arrived today, and I've just come in from New York, so I'm a bit jet lagged. So apologies if I seem a bit like a zombie. There's only one word that I know, which is kiitos. So thank you for having me, kiitos. maybe by tomorrow I'll know a few more words, but kiitos.
What is your favorite role and why?
I always say that I like roles that I did when I first started acting, when I was very young. I started when I was 18 in the theatre, and I got a great buzz out of just being able to act. You know, when not trying to be famous, or not trying to to up your profile or anything. I'm just so happy to be able to be doing it, and to the fact that I got paid for it was amazing. So those first roles that I did in the theatre, I always really loved. I can't really say that I have a favourite role. Like, sometimes, obviously, some of the roles are more famous than the other ones, and so that your job is to to keep it balanced. Before I did Sherlock, I always thought that I'd love to play a villain. I really thought, but because I had an innocent little face, they just didn't see me as, and I thought, you know, give us a chance or whatever. And then sort of after Sherlock, I'm having the opposite problem. So you just try and go after the stuff that you want, and try and deflect the stuff that you're maybe not finding so interesting.
Me? Oh, I assume you like dancing. Could you show us a few dance moves?
I'm not going to do that. I'm so sorry. I'm really not a very good dancer. I would have to practice.
Okay.
You do a little dance for us here.
I kind of just want to hear you say, "Did you miss me?"
Did you miss me?
One of your earlier roles was in HBO's Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Really famous names. So what did you learn from them?
Band of Brothers was an extraordinary TV program. It was sort of a spin-off of Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, it was a brilliantly made thing. I was very happy to be involved in it. It was everybody had gone to boot camp before I arrived, so I was in the theatre. So I missed the whole boot camp. So they used to call me the reluctant soldier. It was great. It's a long time ago now. I was just kind of starting out then, but it's a brilliant series, and it still stands up. I just saw Damien Lewis, who's in Band of Brothers there the other evening, and he's doing terribly well also. So like a lot of those guys, there's a lot of brilliant actors are in it. Before they became movie stars, Michael Fassbender and Tom Hardy and James McAvoy and Dominic Cooper, loads of brilliant actors. So it was great. It was great breeding ground for people who are doing really well. Yeah.
Okay, so I love the work as Moriarty.
Thank you.
Personal question. Who is your favorite superhero and is Benedict Cumberbatch good?
That's a 2-point question.
Okay, sorry.
I've never kissed Benedict Cumberbatch. You'll be surprised to hear, possibly. And who's my favourite superhero? E.T.
One more question.
May I ask you, who has inspired you as an actor?
Oh wow, there's so many. Anthony Hopkins is a brilliant actor. I love Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, he's amazing. And I love any actor who's got a sense of humour. I absolutely hate serious acting. I think that's really boring. I love Meryl Streep is a great influence on me. Because she seems to be a proper human being as well as an amazing actor, and she mixes things up brilliantly. And then I always think I feel very blessed with all the people who are my contemporaries now. Benedict is an absolutely wonderful actor, and Martin, and Ben Whishaw is a great friend and a great colleague of mine. And so yeah, I feel very lucky that there's a lot of brilliant actors around now as well.
Well, thank you, Andrew.
Thanks so much.
I think that we have to clear the house. Well, one more.
Back to show.
Thank you.
I just wanted to know what is your favorite line from him, and if you could say that's what people
What's my favorite line? I had a very good opening line, which is. It's terrible. I'm afraid it could. Is it the jet lag? It's not an L98 Browning in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me?
Yes, we have now some time for the fans still outside. We have to negotiate here before you came.
Thank you very much.
So we'll go up there and we'll have a